What up, y'all? Slane Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador. And let's talk about what if now within the Power universe. The question is, what if Kanan was never set up to be killed by Tariq, Tasha, and Angela? What would have happened if Kanan never died? What would have happened if Kanan never died, and let's say they found a different way to clear Tariq and Ghost of the murder that they had to frame Kanan for? Let's say they figured out a way to deal with that. The question is, given all the bad blood in the past, given the fact that these guys literally tried to kill each other, right? Within a burning house even. The question is, would Ghost have had Kanan killed after the fact if Tariq hadn't had him killed? And the question could be answered this way. No. I don't think Ghost would have killed Kanan or had him killed after the fact. We definitely know Tommy wouldn't have. Tommy thought the world of Kanan, right? Now, Angela wouldn't have had no reason to try to frame Kanan for anything if, let's just say, they found a different way to deal with the situation, right? So, let's say everyone is clear. No one's being investigated for no murders, but now you have Kanan, who's still alive, who just recently reunited with Tommy and Ghost for the sake of Tariq. It's clear to Ghost, after Kanan killed his own flesh and blood to save his son, it's clear to Ghost that even though Kanan had a bad influence on Tariq, even though Kanan had sinister plans for Tariq, it's clear that Kanan loves Tariq like his own son. This would be apparent to Ghost. Ghost would then remember how he never wanted to kill Kanan in the first place. He just wanted to do his own thing separate from Kanan, and Kanan was in the way. I think that being that Ghost, even back then, was actively trying to figure out ways to get his hands clean of drugs, clean of murders, and advance in his life, I think that Ghost would have said, listen, I'm done with this, Tommy and Kanan, I leave everything to you. I think Ghost would have made his backup plan around that. He would have had this talk with Kanan and Tommy, and he would have said, I leave everything to you, but don't let my son sell drugs. I think that Tommy would have respected it. Kanan maybe would have respected it. And as long as Kanan would have kept Tariq from selling drugs, now Tariq doing his own thing and Ghost got to worry about that in the future, that's cool. But as long as Kanan wasn't giving Tariq drugs and helping him trap, Ghost would have had no further reason to have no static with Kanan. And it appears that Kanan was over their little tip too. I think when they was in the car and Ghost told Kanan, like, yo, listen, I love you like a brother. I just could not kill you, so I had to get you sent to jail. But you see me, I did right by your son, and when you came home, I was gonna do right by you. Basically on some, I really wish you would have never found out that I even did this, because I wanted you to come home and I still would have put you in position. I love your son like he was mine, right? I think that Ghost would have just gave Tommy and Kanan the organization. Tommy would have been number one. Kanan would have been number two. There's no way he would have been able to make Kanan number one over Tommy. Come on now. Tommy was with you during your real rise and ascent in his lifestyle. So he wouldn't have been able to do Tommy that filthy. Now, once he gave the organization to Tommy and Kanan, if Kanan wanted to feel like, yo, I want to be top dog, so I'm going to screw Tommy over, then that's something Kanan might have did. Maybe he would have did that. But Ghost would have been long gone anyway. Ghost would have been long gone anyway. You know what I'm saying? I think that if they would have found a way to keep Tariq and Ghost out of jail without killing Kanan and setting Kanan up, and let's say that all worked out in that way, Ghost would have just gave the organization to Kanan and Tommy. And I think at least initially, Kanan would have been good with that. Kanan would have been like, you know what? Y'all doing better than I was doing before I went to jail. Right? I went to jail, came home, I dealt with all this crap, right? Dealing with someone who I used to love like my little brother. I still got love for you. You just gonna give me this high-ranking position? I'll take it. And I think Kanan would have took it, and he would have thrived, and he would have learned better business practices from Tommy and Ghost, and he probably would have legitimized himself. I don't see Kanan wanting to play in the streets. I think he would have probably, similarly to Ghost, eventually wanted to figure out a way to transition. Eventually. You know what I'm saying? Even though by his death, it still seemed like he was thinking peanuts compared to what at least Ghost was thinking. Which is why he would have had to be number 2. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know. Do y'all think Ghost would have still had Kanan killed? Or do you think Ghost would have had even more initiative to leave the game, knowing that Tommy would be with somebody who they both can kind of trust? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.